Hey, 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 beautiful people. It's your girl, Tanya Weeders, ECMG Creative. Hope all is well. Let's get all of this out of the way. We want to first thank so much Mount Fugitive. Or is it Fugitive? Fugitive, Mount Fugitive, whatever. He is providing us with the listening sounds of J Dilla instrumental. It's called life, people. It's called life. I want to send a special shout out to those of you who have your nose to the ground and your ears to the street, and you know that there's always an opportunity for us to learn. And we all are in a moment right now where learning is at a premium right now. If you're not paying attention, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because if you don't pay attention, you will pay the price. I'm going to read to you part of an essay that I'm putting together for ECM groups, but I have to actually really open it up with, talking about and congratulating our brother from another mother by the name of Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown. I've been calling him Kwame because, I'm aging myself, but hey, only you can make me do the things that I do. Yeah, I wasn't born saved, so don't judge me. So we're saying thank you so much to Kwame Brown, and who has changed a moment that was, he was in his feelings about for a moment, but he taught us and is continuing to teach us that you can take a moment that may have otherwise embarrassed you or made you feel less than, and turn it into something that is so much more. Turn it into a moment where you can galvanize people by the thousands and the hundreds of thousands, and as of late, even 1 million people can have eyeballs on you. That's like 2 million people because you got 1 million viewers, right? And I just want to say, that is a message that is always going to stand the test of time. You're always going to have people try you. You're always going to have people call you everything except a child of God. And you get what you get when you sleep a poking bear and you think that just because they're not saying anything, that they're not doing anything. Oh, no. So today I want to do a little something different. Of course, I'm going to, teach you in this teachable moment. But I also want us to be able to recognize that the things that go on around us, it's happening for us, and it's not necessarily happening just to us, but it's happening for us for a reason. So take notes, take the or 8-page out of Kwame's book, and learn that stuff, and learn it immediately, if not sooner, and it'll take you to places that you never even thought you would be able to go. So the name of the article is to be determined, but for us, it's going to be called Who is Kwame Brown? And why do we love him? Why is it that we cannot get enough of this man? Now, full disclosure, I went to school with his cousin and didn't even realize it until like the middle of the fiasco. So I just want to let you know we're all connected, whether we know it or whether we know it or not. And that, when you insult or assault another person, you can't do that without doing damage to yourself. So I just want us to talk about Kwame for a little bit, and how and what he means for the marketing world, because there's something that he's doing in the marketing world, in the social media world, in the internet streets, as we call it, that has never been seen before. I've never seen anything like this before, and I've been in this business well over a decade. I have been working, I've been working since I was a little girl, but I'll say, as an adult, over 20 some odd years. And I've never seen something blow up like this before. And because he's the type of individual that doesn't really crave the spotlight anyway, it's not as if this flame goes out that he is going to go out, because he has his feet firmly on the ground, which I love. And he understands that just because it is finished, whatever this spectacular epic it is, that it doesn't mean that he is finished. So I want you to look out for him. I want you to listen to his stuff. I know he can get a little salty on the ear, but I want you to look at what he's saying, and I want you to take the diamonds that he drops, because every single time he shows up, he has something to say and something to say of value. And how and what does this have to do with what we do as entrepreneurs, what we do as businesses and brand ambassadors? It means that you need to take hold of your brand and you need to ride it until the wheels fall off. You need to take control of that. So I'm going to read some of this and I'm going to give my commentary in between, because I don't want this to get boring. But by the same token, I want us to understand and know forever that this is somebody. This is somebody. And I like the way Kwame says it. He says, you're not going to talk about my mama's son like that, as if he's not his mother's son. He is so endearing, and I think that he's going to be around for a while. That podcast that he already has a built-in market, and that's something that you need to look for, even if you're just starting your business, pivoting, or moving to the next level in terms of scale. So it starts off by saying, he is an enigma. He's all of 6'7", brown skin, beautiful smile, crazy laugh, and he is equally as much humorous as he is intelligent. That there's something, and I've always known from the beginning that there's something about this brand. And it's so amazing because I was listening to Tasha K a couple of days ago. Actually, I just saw it today, but she posted a couple of days ago. And it's something about people who were born in the months of February and March. And it's like, listen, when we're in, and when we out, we done. It's not like we hate you. We don't want to have nothing to do with you. It's just, it's run its course, and that's it. And there's no hate. There's always love. And, he is that type of person where when he has not said anything, and then all of a sudden he's caused to say something, he's going to say it because he's been sitting on it for years. He's been sitting on it for years. And while it was annoying to him, he put that in the, I'll understand it better by and by folder. You know what that is, Save Sanctified folks. So on Saturday, I knew that there was something about this man, and I had written this last week. So I'm talking about the previous Saturday. I knew that there was something awry or something on the horizon when on midnight on a Saturday, I saw something that I never seen on YouTube before. It was a man with a microphone who, for whatever reason, his feed was cut, but we were still able to see him. We were still signed on, not even see him, but it was a black screen, and we were still holding on to his every word, even though he was gone. And we were looking at a black screen that for 10 minutes, when he was sitting comfortably at 15,000 viewers, it had bounced up to 17,500 people, and he wasn't even saying anything. Something is going on here. It's going on in the branding space. It's going on in the marketing space. It's going on in social media. And I have not seen this. I've not seen this. And the reason why I'm talking about it now, because I had said to the Instagram followers and also LinkedIn as well, but more specifically on IG, I said, if this man lasts for 3 weeks, because 3 weeks is the standard news cycle. And if we can get him to talk and to continue commanding the kind of response that he has, then he is here for the cooking. He's here to stay, and he's not leaving, and he's not going to shut up. The problem is every time he says something, everybody has something else to say, and then they think that he's not watching. It was a couple days ago, he partnered with someone else, watched that, and not just somebody, but somebody who has authority, who has teeth in the game, who's retired. So, and I mean retired for real. I'm not talking about Michael Jordan retired in 92. I'm talking about he's retired for real, and he's an older man. So he's going to say whatever he wants to say because his check is secure, right? So this is what happened a couple of days ago. That little video accumulated and amassed 1 million viewers. One video. This man has amassed over 17 million views in 7 days. Who does that? And no one's saying anything, and we know why no one is saying anything. And once you hear what I have to say, you'll know why. And so for the marketers in us, for the brand ambassadors in us, know this. Here is what is different about Kwame and why he works. All right. So let me give you a little background first, and then I'll go into that. Kwame Brown is a retired, I wanted to say football, he played football too, basketball player. And he played in the league for 12 years, I believe. And then he's been out of the league for at least 10 to 12 years. So on this talk show or podcast that was called All the Smoke. Called All the Smoke. And apparently, they need to change the lane because they're not in for all the smoke. They're not ready for Kwame because Kwame is so unassuming and so low key. And now it's like, oh, you want to act crazy, so now I can act crazy too. I can act crazy too and still not lose my religion. And so this show is starring former NBA players Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes has a new nickname. So in the middle of the show, Kwame felt as if he was slighted, and it ignited a social media war of words. And it's been going on and on and on for what is now 3 weeks. It's officially 3 weeks after the holiday. But like I said, it was something that we haven't seen before. So I want you to understand this, that, be very careful of what you do when you invite someone into your space, into your home, and then you violate them, or you make them feel a certain kind of way, or cause them to feel a certain kind of way. And because you feel as if you didn't do anything, or you didn't do it deliberately, that you are not on the hook for that. No, sir. No, ma'am. No. By virtue of the fact that the person felt ill at ease and had it with you, that's a moment of clarity where you apologize. That's not, and what Matt Barnes did was not an apology. And apologize, anybody can apologize. The devil apologized. So let's be clear. This man was defending himself after 12 years of being in the league and about 10 years outside of it. He's never opened up his mouth against the things that were said against him, about the opinions of others, because guess what? They're just opinions that everybody has, according to, and along with other things that people have. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And so he never said anything. He never said anything because it wasn't worth it. But at this point, he had it. At this point, he was over it. And the overarching message here is that there are two things that can happen to you when you rail against somebody. You can either expect that person to lay down there and take it and never say anything to you, or you can have somebody like Kwame is like, oh, you want me to say something? All right. You thought I wasn't going to say anything? Oh, okay. All right. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to explode, and I don't care who gets left on the floor. I don't care anything about that, because now I got to defend myself. Now I got to be a man. Now I have to be a 100% man. So this person was defending himself, and I don't want us to ever lose sight of that this is a person who was railed against. And let me clear up this term about, oh, a grown man is bullying another man. No, grown people don't bully people. They harass people. And the last I look on the docket is according to the law, that harassment is a crime. And if you can prove it, it's a done deal. So stop talking about this grown man being bullied. Grown people don't get bullied. After you 21, 25, depending on what state you live in, that not accuses you, but allows you to be a grown person, now it's harassment. And that man has every right to speak. So the critical here is that all of these people, all of these entities, from Matt Barnes, which represents the podcast, which represents all of the cable networks that carry him, and even the podcast platforms that carry them. These entities in and of their own have their own built-in audience. And that's why this works for Kwame, because Kwame might have had his own set of fans before. I did not know who Kwame was, right? But I'm loving who he is because he's a breath of fresh air. He's speaking the truth. He's speaking some things that we may have thought, but we never thought to have a discussion because, well, nobody else is talking about it, so what are we talking about it for? And we've seen some things that have gone on, and Kwame is speaking to them, and he's speaking to them authentically, and with such authenticity that you can't look away from him. You can't look away from him. And I want you to understand, sometimes you say, you look and you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you don't know whether it's a train or whether it's, the answer to your prayers. You have to know that what this man is bringing is 12 years or 10 years of just being silent, and he had enough, right? So why we love him and why we can't get enough of him is just because of what I've said. We love the fact that he's a gentleman, that he is a mama's boy. That boy love his mama. Do you hear what I'm saying? And when you have somebody like that who have no F's left to give, he does not care. Why should he care? He had me on the ground. He said, wait a minute. He said, wait. You sitting here clowning me. I'm sitting on acres and you sitting on somebody's plantation. I said, wait a minute. Wait. He does not care. Right? And he knows how to hand your head to you on a silver platter without being disrespectful to him, his family, and those of them who follow him. He's somebody who has not forgotten where he's come from. He has attached himself to a history that is brutal. But we are a people who know how to preserve life no matter what. My family's from South Carolina. I know that the year of Geechee ain't over. And if you thought it was, then you don't know Kwame Brown, right? And so, we love him because we see, if we're really looking and have eyes to see it, we understand that this goes beyond sports. This is why it works. It goes beyond sports. It goes beyond entertainment. It goes into a place that we viscerally are going to respond. Now, here's what had happened. There were people who were chiming in on what was said that had nothing to do with what was going on. Let me check my time for a minute. Yeah, that had nothing to do with what was going on. And what I'll tell you is this. When grown people are talking, keep your mouth closed. When men are talking, keep your mouth closed. Charlemagne the God, you are not even 5 feet tall. What are you doing talking to men that's 6'7"? Who are you? Knock it off. And then you get involved, and guess what happens? You get burned. Charlemagne the God got burned because he had dirt in his closet, stuff that he had been bragging about, and he's going to hemorrhage money. He's going to hemorrhage his position on radio. He's going to hemorrhage all of the stuff that he worked for because of his big mouth. Just like Joe Clark, you remember that, and lean on me. It's your big mouth that got you in prison. Mind your business. Mind your business. So why this works, it fits into the mold, and then it doesn't. What Kwame did was he's allowing people their space to speak on it, to speak whatever their opinions are, but you can speak what your opinions are without being disrespectful. And I believe that's his point. That's his whole point altogether. Don't rail against people. Don't bully people. Don't try to create a bully pulpit just to say what you need to say and elevate yourself in the middle of a situation, because if you're not right, you're going to get burned too. Because this guy is not only bringing the fight, the missiles, but he's bringing the light to a lot of stuff. Jessica Reed, I want to say you better go and get your money. You better sue everybody that you need to sue, because guess what? If that was done to you and is documented as such, you go after everybody and all they that harbor him. And if they hired him, if they put him in position, I'm talking about see the God, if they put him in position to lead, you need to hire them. You need to sue them as well, because they are giving him the right. They're giving him the right to go ahead and to continue to be what he is and talk about what he did as if it's not a crime, to rail again or to assault a child. And I don't care where you go in this country, 15 years old is still a child, and 23 years old is still a man. So only one person is having sex and one person is not. And the person that's not is the one that's being violated, and there is no statute of limitations. And oh yeah, by the way, I want you to know, in the state of New York, our governor said if you are ever assaulted by anybody, that because 2020 happened, it was supposed to end back then. But if you want to press charges, girly, it doesn't matter what state you're in. If that person is in this state, oh yeah. Oh yeah, if they work here, if they live here, yeah. Shout out to Choke No Joke. Shout out to Dana with the data. Shout out to Star, Troy Terrain. Yes, let me tell you something, because these men have been talking about this the whole time and nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to listen to Jessica Reed. Jessica Reed, you say her name, you remember her name. You put some respect on her name because you've been talking, but nobody wants to listen. I wonder why that is, entertainment industry. Oh, is it because Chaka Khan said it best? That the music industry is demonic? How do you have this man sitting here doing what he does, the disgusting things that he does, and he still has a job? So shout out to Kwame. Kwame. Shout out to Judge Joe. Shout out to everyone. But I want you to look at this man as the enigma that he is. He is an anomaly. Nobody has done. Beyonce has not done this. Bieber hasn't done this. Ariana Grande has not done this. Kim Kardashian has not done this. When has Kim Kardashian been anywhere and 1 million people watch her online? I'm not talking about television. Live. Yeah. So that's what I have to say. And I think that's my time. But I want you all to know Kwame Brown is the one that you need to look at. And he came out of obscurity, but recognize why he is being magnetized, because he's tapping into all these industries. And when you, let me tell you something else, and I didn't realize that. I'm going to leave you alone. He has been chopped and screwed. All of his content has been chopped and screwed. And do you know that this man is not striking anybody for copyright? This is someone who is purely vested on, this is what you need to know. I'm hipping you to some game. And if you don't want to know, it's because you don't want to know. So I just want you to know what's out there. I just want you to know that this is the caliber of man that's out there. He thought it not robbery to get on the screen and share his time with Judge Joe Brown, who is an elder by any right and every right. And I want you to know, to understand and consider forever, I watch people. I watch how folks move. I watch your body, because your body, 90% of your communication is nonverbal. I watch him give the utmost respect to his elder, to this man. And if you're really looking at it, it's like Kwame now in 2020 talking to Kwame in another 50 years. That's what I was looking at. Like, you do realize you're talking to yourself, right? And it's a lesson that bodes well for all of us if we're ready to hear it. None of us are separated. That's why I can't talk about you without talking about me. That's why I can't curse you out and don't expect not to get cursed out in my life, not just by somebody else, but in my life and in the areas that are hidden from everybody. So I want us to be mindful of the marketing strategy that is building itself as it's moving. This is a game of three-dimensional chess that I'm not seeing, and I am so here for it. So thank you so much for letting me talk to you a little bit about the marketing, about what's going on in social media, about what's going on in the world, and how we're all a part of it and how we can all chime in and do good deeds. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.